Good afternoon, everyone. Scott G here with the Simple Trading Life. Welcome to our live stream Tuesday edition. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. We'll be going over several things today, so give me 1 second here. I'm going to bring up your comments. If anybody has any questions or comments while we go through. Hello there. I see we've already got some people in here. It's been an exciting day in the markets. So we'll be covering several of those things. Once we get a few more people here, I'll give people a minute or two to join in. I went live about 1 minute early. So we'll give everybody just a little bit of time. As always, I have ES here on my screen, 30-minute chart, E-minis, S&P 500. Can kind of see the action we've had since, what is that, 11:30. My eyes are getting bad. So from 11:30 to where we are now, you can kind of see this steady move to the downside, losing a little momentum right now. Okay, as you can see here, this is our momentum indicator. And if I got to get the right tool. If I give you just a quick, you can kind of see here. There we go. So momentum, okay, started to peak right here on this candle, which was our 11 o'clock candle, and then ever since then, we've been trending down with momentum. Price had a big drop over this hour-and-a-half period right here. Okay, then we tried to go lower and break through this level of structure, and I'll show you where that comes from. Then we sort of leveled out. And excuse me, this is the start of the 2 o'clock candle, and as you can see, its first move is to the downside. But it's got several things that it has to get through, and that's probably why we've seen these bottoming tails right here. So we've got to get through this level of structure, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. We got to get through the top of the expanding range, which I can show you as well. We have to get through this 20 SMA, and then we also would have to get through opening price, and then you also have this wick here. So there is a lot of support right in here, a lot. Okay, it doesn't mean we can't get through it, right? Because we've made 1, 2, 3, and this would be our 4th attempt to get through. Now, if at some point it can't get through, sellers could very well come back in, and then we could start heading this direction. And if that happens, what are we doing? Well, if that happens, we would be putting in a cup and handle. Okay, that's if we can't break through and go lower. So if momentum starts to shift or even flatten out, it doesn't necessarily have to turn back up right now, even if it just flattens out. Okay, and then we start to round this off, the 20 keeps coming up, and then we start back up this direction. You can see it right here. We would be forming a cup and handle formation. And what typically happens, right, is when a cup and handle, okay, when it rejects here, okay, now why did we reject here? Because of this wick right over here. Okay, I called this out in our room, simpletradinglife.com. If you're brand new, first of all, give us a thumbs up here and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications bell. Second, go to simpletradinglife.com and click on the free chat room button. Our chat room is free. All the content is free. Come hang out with us. We talk in a very simple manner, just as I'm talking to you guys on these live streams. And there is nothing complex. We make it easy, and there's just tons and tons of content there. Okay, but I pointed this out in the room earlier today. Okay, first of all, we had this level across here. All right, that's where these first 2 candles couldn't get through. Once they got through this level of structure, the next thing was this wick. And I said between 3170 and 3174 would be another area that price would have to get through to go higher. Well, it couldn't do it, right? It couldn't do it. It got as high as 3174.25, but we closed at 3171.75. So we could not close above that 3174 number. Then immediately, the next candle, we started the sell-off. Yes, Kelsey, you can absolutely be right about the direction and get stopped out. Yep, that happens all the time. Okay, now as I'm talking, we'll keep watching price. Okay, price is trying to make another dive down in here. All right, so we'll watch, obviously, like we said, level of structure, top of the expanding range, the 20 SMA. It's got to get through all of that. And then it also has to get through opening price level in this wick right here. Okay, so back to our cup and handle. So once it got through here, it was unable to get through the wick right here. Okay, if you look straight across. Now we've sold back off. If, and this is only an if, right? Because if this goes through and keeps going lower, we will not complete the cup and handle. But if we complete the cup and handle, what typically happens is the next time it comes back to test this level, it will break through and go higher, forming a J-hook. Okay, or those in the room know the J-hook pattern. Okay, price will come down. Typically, it bounces off of the 20. It rounds around, and then it goes higher. And that's typically what you have. That is the final move of a cup and handle if it actually comes to fruition. Right? The final move is this J-hook. So we're going to see here if we can get through or not. All right, I see we have a bunch of new people just joined us. So welcome to everybody. Make sure you give us a thumbs up here. And definitely go to our channel, simpletradinglife.com. Well, that's actually our website. Click on the free chat room button and join us in our chat room. We'd love to have you. All right, so let's look at a couple of things. First of all, where did this level of structure come from? So all we got to do is squeeze this in. And what I want to show you is it started right over here. Okay, and then look how many times it's been respected. Here, 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 here. All of this right through here, here again. Then here's where it finally broke through. Okay, this was last night. Came down to our support level at 3141.50. See how it was respected? Then we got the strong move this morning back up to that area we just talked about. This wick here between 3170 and 3174. Hey, hello from Argentina. Nice to have you. Glad you could be here with us. Let me see if I can. Ramiro, I believe is how you pronounce that. Ramiro, and if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. But glad to have you all the way from Argentina. Okay, so again, coming back across through here, then we came back down through. We broke back up. Then we came back down. So this level all the way across here. All the way across here has been a very important level. And right now, that's what's holding us up here. And it may lead to the finishing of a cup and handle formation. We'll see. Awesome. I'm glad I pronounced it correctly. I don't like to mispronounce people's names if I can help it. All right, so we got several things going on here too. So we had the upward trend line. Okay, and I covered this in, I believe, yesterday's live stream. That's just the trajectory that we've been on. I can show you. Let's go back. And I'll try a 1 hour first. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, the 1 hour is going to show it. All right, you see this W pattern that we put in here off of this right here. These two red lines are our expanding range, right? Some people call them broadening formations, broadening triangles, expanding ranges, whatever you want to call it. So up here and down here. So it was that final touch. And then this trend line, look at this, took us all the way up here to the top. And then we sort of broke through, we bounced along the top, and now we're seeing, are we going to break back down in, or are we going to continue up? But that's where this upward trend line came from. We're on the 1 hour right now. I'm going to go back to the 30-minute. All right, you see that? Other than the wick here, we kind of came down below, but then we came right back up. Then we came back down below, then retested it from underneath, and then we went lower, and now we're trying to form that either cup and handle, right? Or we may put in a W pattern, right? See, that could be either. Like if this comes back down, this could be another W pattern. Down here, we had a W pattern. Let me get back over here. Okay, and then that started this move to the upside. So let's go back to the 30-minute. We are going to look at some other names today because there's been some fantastic things going on that I want to cover. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this. In fact, we're going to set some alerts. So let's do that. And all alerts do is tell us if price is breaking one direction or the other. So I'm going to set one down here at the bottom of the structure level. I'm going to put it at, let's say, 53. Oh, that's lower than I wanted. I'm sorry. Let me move it up right about there. All right, that's going to let us know if we get below these things and start to move out of this level of structure. And then we're going to put one just above here, and that'll tell us if price starts to reverse back up. And that'll allow us to also look at some other things unless price all of a sudden makes a quick move. All right, so one of the first things I want to look at today is Facebook. And I might start on this chart and then I may go to a different platform. Okay, here's our 30-minute. Okay, here's our 30-minute on Facebook. And here's today's action. You see it went up and then came back down. Now, yes, I'm definitely going to go to a different chart. Let me go to TrendSpider, which I'm trying them out right now. Literally, I've only had it for a couple of days. Now, okay, look at this. Let me expand it for you so you can see it a little bit better. In fact, I'll even put it on full screen. All right, so Facebook is in what? An expanding range inside of, see these two green lines? Inside of an upward channel. All right, so there's a channel moving up, but inside of that, we have this broadening range, okay? From the top to the bottom, back to the top, down to the 20, back to the top, down to the bottom, all the way back to the top. So this was on our watch list today. We had a very small watch list today. It was only 5 or 6 names. Some days it's 15 or 20. We're looking for certain signals and setups and things like that. So some days that list will be smaller, some days it'll be bigger. So today was a small day, but Facebook was one of our big winners. What we had was we had an outside candle. Okay, you see this? Outside of this, outside of this. That's all an outside candle means, is that it took out both sides, or it even started, right? It could have started below, but it didn't. It came down, took out that side of this candle. That creates an outside candle. That is a setup for us. So if it's green, which this one was, we're really looking for it to take out the top. If the outside candle is red, we're really looking for it to take out the bottom. And the reason that is, if you have a green candle and you open up here and it's got to go all the way back through this range, by the time it triggers, okay, and I'll explain a trigger here in a second, by the time it triggers, a lot of the move is already gone, right? But we only want high probability moves. So we know that if this is a big green outside candle and momentum goes green or positive, that we have a good chance to really capture some good moves. So our trigger on this today was 240.40 was the trigger, and it went as high as 247.65. So over a $7 move in our favor. All right. Now, as you can see, it's pulled back. What I really wanted to cover, though, was this expanding range and why it's important to identify both expanding ranges and contracting ranges. They give you high probability trades, first and foremost, and it helps you to gauge the magnitude of potential moves. So let's just say you're a swing trader. I don't swing trade much. I do once in a while. I mostly day trade, okay, and scalp. If you're a swing trader and you've identified, okay, and you've identified an expanding range and you get a signal, all right, I'm just going to say this was your signal and you entered right here, okay, and it starts going your way and it never significantly comes back against you, you know that the potential magnitude of your move is going to be down at least to take this out, right? If you drew a line straight across there, okay, from here straight across, as long as you take that out, you've actually expanded the range. All right, now that would give you the potential magnitude of the move. Once it reversed here and went the other way, we know where the range is. Same thing up here. Once this happened, we knew where the range was. So today on Facebook, was it any surprise that look right where it turned? At one time, this was a big green candle, fully green, right here, and look where it bounced. Look where it turned. Right at the exact top of the range. Now, I say this all the time. These lines are not magical, okay? They're not set in stone. However, you would be shocked at how many times price goes right to them once you've identified them, right? Once you've identified where the range is. Now, let's just say that it does start to come back and goes all the way back down through. You would not be surprised if it came all the way back down through and touched this line. Okay, it could be 2 weeks from now. It might only be a few days from now, right? It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to go from the bottom to the top, because right now we're on the daily. Okay, it took 6 days. Here it took 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get to the bottom from the top, from our trigger. So those are just things to keep in mind. Now, sometimes you'll get action like this, right? Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's almost 2 weeks through here, okay, that it took us to go from the middle of the range to the top. So if you're a swing trader, right, it just helps you if you get a signal. Okay, now for us, we look for highly probable signals. If this candle would turn into a shooting star before the end of the day, that would be a highly probable signal that price is about to start going the other direction for a couple of reasons. We're trying to put it all together. One, we had this strong move to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, only one of them were red. Okay, 6 candles with only one of them being red. That is a strong move to the upside. Visually, you can see it. So if this then comes down and forms a shooting star, and then we take out the bottom of that shooting star, it's highly likely that price will then start to move back down through the range. Will it go all the way? You don't know for sure. Okay, look at this. We never made it all the way back up, then it came back to the middle, then it went all the way back up to the top. So in theory, you could say that from here to here took several weeks, right? Every 5 days is a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 weeks. So from the start back here, now at that time you didn't know for sure this was an expanding range, right? But all I'm trying to do is show you that sometimes that took 4 weeks. This only took 4 days. This only took 6 days. All right, so if you're a swing trader, that's one of the reasons that knowing what an expanding range is and where it's at, being able to identify it on your chart, can help you gauge the potential magnitude of a move. But you're still going to use setups and triggers. But again, if we had a strong move up, and again, I'm giving you a hypothetical here. We say this turns into a nice shooting star, right? A nice shooting star that would look something like this right here. See this candle? That's like almost a perfect shooting star. Okay, why does it not work here? Why does it not work here? Because it's not at the end or after a strong move up. You take this candle and put it right here, that would be a golden setup. That's one of my absolute favorites. Strong move into a a shooting star that looks just like that. Man, those are the best. I'm telling you, those are the best. All right, so if you would get something like that here, then you would be looking, so you bounced off of the top of the range after a strong move and you have a shooting star, then you would look to go short and you would be looking to at least take out the bottom of this candle right here, if not get all the way back down to here. Because technically all you have to do to expand the range is get just below this candle. All right? Okay, so hopefully everybody sees that. All right, that's Facebook. Before I go on to the next thing, give me 1 second here. We'll go back and take a look at ES. I didn't have any of my alerts go off, so I'm just going to double check it before we move on. Okay, it's starting to move down. Okay, starting to test structure, starting to test this line. Now look, I want you to see this in real time. I talk about this on live streams all the time. See that? When we first got here, it was all the way down here, and it's already bounced all the way up here. You only see that if you're watching price action in real time. Let's say that this ends up either going through here, right, and maybe gets down to here. If you see it after the fact, you're going to think, oh, it just blew right through all this stuff. We know that that's not how it happens. It went right to the top of this expanding range, and then it bounced way up here. So we call that waffling. It's waffling back and forth. It's the buyers and sellers, right? They're the bulls and the bears. They're fighting each other right now. Okay, they're going to see who's going to take control. They're going to see who's going to take control. So we'll watch this just for a second, and then we're going to go on and we're going to look at something else. Okay, we also have the 20 here. You see this? We also have the 20. So we got all kinds of stuff going on right in here. So if the bears can push through this, that shows all kinds of strength on their part. Now today, I want you to look at this candle right here. This was a big red candle when it was way down here. But what happened? Bulls came right back in and pushed it even higher. Right? Then we came down, and if you look at these candles, look at all these bottoming tails. Every time it tried to get down here, bulls pushed it back up. Right? So we're not making any assumptions until price can push through and close down in here somewhere. Right? We need it to push through this stuff and close, not just get down here and then all of a sudden end up way back up here, because that's what happened right here. Again, this was a big red candle, and then bulls came in, pushed it all the way back up. Okay? It's making another effort. Okay, so it's right here again, right here at the top of that expanding range that I showed you. Let me go to a different chart just so you can see it better. Okay, again, see this line here? This is what it's testing right now. Here's this expanding range. So, if it would start, if it would come back in, we call that dropping back into the range. Sometimes it'll poke its head out, bounce around, and drop back into the range. If it drops back in and starts down, it could have a long way to go. Now we have some demand down here. That's what these two blue lines are. Okay, but quite a ways away. Let's look here. Clear down at 30, 30, 50. Okay, 30, 30, 50. So that would be quite a ways down. All right. So we do have some demand down here. We have some pivots along the way. Right? There's a pivot here, right at a level of support. There's a pivot here. Okay, pivots are important, right? They will act as support or resistance as well if the pivot is on top. Then we'd have to get all the way back down. Here's another pivot. Anywhere you have these pivots, okay, you could almost draw lines across there or gray areas. I like to draw gray areas because it'll be a zone. It'll be an area that could offer some support. Now we have this area of demand right here. Okay, and we did test it once. Okay, we did test it once right there. And what happened? That's what started this big move that is still going, right? And the only reason I left this is because we left it and look at the move that's happened over the last week and a half or so, right? So I'm leaving this zone until we get back to it again because it may bounce off of it again. And if it gets down and goes through, I can just remove it, right? But I want to know that this zone is here because the last time, okay, here's where it was formed. We came up here, came right back down. The very first time we tested it, boom, we shot away. And then we've never been back since. We've never been back since, right? So that told us there was a lot of aggressive buyers right there. Okay, let's go back to the 30-minute. And then I'm going to take you and look at another name in just a second. Okay, we're still dropping. That was my signal that we got down here right to the very bottom of the level of structure. Okay, that's what that alert, I think you could probably hear that. We're right here at the bottom. It's trying to break through. Trying to get through the 20 as well. So right now, got a little bit less than 4 minutes to go on this candle. We would say that we're piercing through. Okay, we haven't broke and held. So when we say we need to break and hold something, that means we need to break through it and close below it. Now, what will happen sometimes is you'll get through some key areas, we'll break, we'll hold, then we'll come back and retest, and then we'll go. That's a break, retest, and go pattern. We talk about that frequently in here. Look at this. See, we're waffling. You guys see that in real time? Let me get a little bit closer even. Okay, see how we're waffling? We were all the way down here. We come back up a couple bucks, and we'll move like this. We call that waffling, back and forth, back and forth. That's that struggle again. That's them duking it out. Right now, we would obviously say, if we look down here at momentum, momentum's to the downside. Right now, we would say, at the present moment, bears are in control. Okay, they've been in control since right up here. You could really say right here. They've been in control since right here, this wick, and then pushing it down, pushing it down. And even though the bulls have put up a fight right here, okay, the bears are trying to really exert dominance and push lower. Okay, now what I'll do, I'm going to set, where do I want to set it? I'm going to set an alert right down here around opening price. There's my alert. Because I want to show you something else. Below. All right, so now we got one way down here. So if that thing goes off, we know that bears are really taking control. And this would be their next two obstacles. Opening price level and this big wick over here. And that's really kind of where the wick starts, is that opening price level. Okay, so anywhere through here could be support. All right. Now the next thing I want to look at is Delta Airlines, DAL. So this was something that I put on our, it wasn't on our watch list. It was one that I just called out in the room, sort of like a trade idea. All right, like a trade idea. So let me make this bigger. I want you guys to be able to see it. And then I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, now I want to get rid of this. Let's remove this one. These are automatic lines drawn in by TrendSpider, which some of them are really good, and then others, they're all based on mathematical formulas. Some of them I don't really care about. So I'm just getting rid of these for now. All right, let me move this up. Whoop! I must have hit something that I didn't mean to. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. I must have accidentally hit a button that logged me out. Let me log right back in here. There we go. All right. Yep, there's Delta daily. That's what I want. Let's go full screen. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. Let's stretch it out. I want to make it so you guys can see it. Okay, Kelsey, when you say your inputs on ES, I take it? And ES is still dropping. All right, here we go. Yep, our alert just went off on ES. So ES is all the way down to opening price level, and we're going to go back to that in just a second. I want to show you guys this. So this was like a trade idea that I put in the room today. All right, this is Delta Airlines. Airlines have been weak, but they did have this rally here lately. Okay, you see this? This is the daily chart. Rallied up here to the top of this trend line, came back down to the 20. Okay, then broke below the 20. Now this starts coming into the reason I wanted this to be a trade that my room looked at. So look what we had over the last few days. We had an inside candle. See, that just means it's inside of this one. Then an outside candle. Then we went inside again. So we went inside, outside, inside. Then this candle broke, okay, to the downside, okay, down, pushed back up, but could not take out the top of this candle. Okay, like here, see how we took out both sides? Could not take out the top. So coming into today, we had weakness in the market, right? The market was down overnight. So we had weakness in the market. Airlines, besides Delta, airlines are weak, right? Rising coronavirus fears, okay, because I think I read something yesterday that over 40 out of the 50 states in the United States now have rising COVID-19 concerns. Okay, they're all rising at an alarming rate again. So this all, to me, this all lined up that we should look for a downside move today, or even as a swing trade, maybe over the next few days. So where did we open up? We opened at 27.86. We're currently at 27.08, which is the low of the day right now as I'm speaking to you. We took out the bottom of this hammer. Now again, this hammer, you're not finding it like after a strong downside move. That's why we're not looking for anything to the upside. It's location, 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 location. All right. So we took out the bottom of this. Now we've got these two candles kind of lined up in a nice formation with small to medium-sized wicks. Okay, for daily candles, those are not big wicks. Then let's look to the left. What do we have over here? The only thing that really concerns me is this gap, because a gap will be support or resistance until it's not. And typically the first time or two that it's tested, it's going to be either support or resistance. So if we, I think I have to go back. Let me do it like this. Okay, if I come over here and I just draw a line, a trend line, let me get it there, across like that. Okay, that is sort of the target if you're swing trading, right? If you're day trading, you might already be where you need to be. Okay, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. All right, so again, it depends. Are you playing shares? Are you playing options? And if you're playing options, are you playing at the money? Are you playing out of the money or near the money, right? Or out of the money? So if you're playing options today, you're already up at least 25 to 30%, depending on what you played. If you played out of the money, you're probably right around 25% or so. If you played near the money or at the money, you might actually already be up, 30, 35, 40, maybe even 50% here on Delta Airlines. And as you can see, once we broke through here, now this was at 28, and we're currently at 27.06. So we've already dropped over 20 cents since we broke the bottom of this wick. And that was a tough wick to get through. And I think, let me go to the 30 minute. Let's go to the 30. All right. See, right down through here, that's where that wick is over to the side, because this is the 30 minute. We were on the daily. All of this was how long it took to get through that wick. Okay, let me show you where 28 is. Right there. Okay, so right across here, just under this, that's the bottom of that wick on the daily. That is the bottom of the wick. Let me get back to where I can see you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, so right across there, I can just draw it in. Come up here. Oh, I see what it's doing. It automatically attaches. All right, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so just basically through here, right? But it's actually 28. You see how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was the 10th candle before it was finally able to break through that level. That shows you what kind of support was there at the bottom of that wick. Let me come back over. Okay, so now, we've even broke lower, 26.96. So now we're really starting to drop. Let's see if I can expand this. And if you're a swing trader, right, I would say your target's going to be down in here. I think I gave 24.70 as a target if you're swing trading. If you're day trading, whatever works out good for you, right? Whatever your profit target needs to be. Now, the great thing about today, there was next to no risk whatsoever, right? It just had this tiny little pop at the beginning, and I mean small. At the very beginning, I can tell you exactly what it was. It was 28 cents. So it went 28 cents up and then turned around, and it's been all going your way ever since then. So again, I hope some people in the room took this. I put this in there. I felt like the analysis was really strong on it. And if you did, you could exit right now and you would be well in the money. Give me 1 second here. You would be, okay, even if you just took out of the money puts, you'd already be up over 40%. Okay, because I'm watching right now because I know where they were. I'll just tell you the 25 puts, $25 puts were 13 cents. Okay, 13 cents. And if you took those, you'd already be up over 40% because they are now at 20. Oh, take that back. You'd actually be up. Oh, that's not telling me. I'm sorry. That's not telling me. Again, you'd be up about 40%. Okay, that's just on out of the money. If you took at the money or near the money, you'd be up more than that right now. Right? And if you took shares, it's just going to be, based on how many shares you took and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but we're hanging out right now down here around 27, just below into the high 26s. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to ES. Okay, and look at this. Look at this on ES. Dropping like crazy. I got to get back to where I can see you guys again. Sorry about that. Okay, so we know, right? We know the bears are now in firm control. Now they got to get through this wick. They got to get through this wick to continue lower. You see how it's starting to waffle here now. Okay, we're 10 minutes into this new candle. Okay, we got through opening price level for now, right? But opening price level is also confluent with the start of this big wick. And so that's where we're getting our struggle right there. That's where we're getting our struggle. Okay, now this has been a great move. Just like if I close it back up a little bit, well, you can see it right there. Hang on a second. Okay, here was the move down last night. Strong move down. We caught support right at our support level. Then we had a strong move back up. Could not get through this wick. Now we kind of came down, rested, and now we're dropping again. Now we're dropping again. If we get through here, then we have to worry about this wick, and really this is sort of a level right in here. Okay, you see that? Okay, so right through here is a key area. Let me draw it in for you. I like visuals to make it easy for you guys. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, this whole area right through here. Okay, this is crucial, and you see what's happening right now. Okay, it came down to about the middle, and it's pushed it all the way back up to the top of this area. You see that? So you've got this wick, and then you've got this range kind of in here, this little ranging area, this little level where it came up, kind of flattened out, and then went up. All right, so it would have to get through here, and then this would be the next level. And if it could get through there, okay, then you're looking at the 200. If I got through the 200, then you're looking at a drop down to this level. All right, but you know what you're contending with. Okay, you see how many times it took to finally get through there. Then we come down in here, and you see how it's pushing back up already. I'll put this in a little bit closer. Everybody see that? Okay. See, I love to watch price action. I love to watch it. When you watch it happening real time, when you have time, I understand people work, right? Some people have regular jobs, or some people, you got kids, you got things to do. You can't always just sit and watch price action. But when you have time, or go back and watch it, you can, a lot of platforms have a on-demand or a rewind feature where you can go back and watch it after the fact. That's still beneficial because you get to see how it played out during the day. You can speed it up so it happens faster, but you'll see how at certain levels, like right here, right? This was a big, huge red candle, and then you get this big bounce, and it comes all the way back up here. And when it comes down, you'll see that it kept coming into here, and price would just waffle and waffle and waffle, and then bulls would push it back up. Then when it came over here, right, we were watching this real time. Okay, at first it got to here and waffled, then it got to here and waffled. Okay, back and forth, then it goes through. Watching that is important. I got you. Kelsey says she wants price to get down here. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but it's going to take a lot to get down there, at least by the end of the day, right? It may happen later. It may happen after, price may bounce up this way a little bit and then come back down. But nothing, I'm not saying it's not possible, right? This could just all of a sudden, bears could come in and just plow this thing down, right? Overwhelm the bulls. This is just a lot to get through right through here. That is a lot to get through. That's why you've seen it kind of bounce back up. It's all the way back up here to opening price level. The low was 3149.75, and it's currently at 3153.25. So it's already pushed it back up. What is that? Not quite $4. Okay, so just you just stay smart, right? If you get in the green, Kelsey's in my room. She knows you get in the green. Just go ahead and take it. Just lock it in. You can always re-enter again, right? You can always re-enter again. All right. Does anybody have any questions about what we've covered today? I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We've been on here about 45, 46 minutes. I don't want to stay on here too long, but I wanted to cover those things today. I wanted to show you Facebook and show you how that range was respected. I wanted to show you DAL, Delta Airlines, and what the analysis was on that and why I was pretty confident that we were going to see a drop today. And we're still right at 27, which is good. Let me come back. Get back over here. Okay, now there it is. It's trying to make another move again. But as it goes down, you see how it's being met with that support there. That's buying pressure is what it is. And that's coming right here because of this big wick. But so anyway, I wanted to show you that expanding range on Facebook and how we got that great move. And then boom, that move just died right at the top of that range. Just died. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. One last thing. Let's take a look at Walmart. So Walmart had news today. Look at this. Is this not crazy? All right. And I was being sarcastic in our room. Walmart announced today that they're going to start a new service that they're going to go head-to-head with Amazon Prime. Right? And realistically, I don't know why Walmart wasn't forward-thinking enough to do this years and years and years ago, because at one time they were in a much better position to do it than Amazon was. But Amazon, they always say being first to market is the most important thing, because then everybody else has to play catch up, and everybody always remembers who was first, right? They rarely remember who was second, third, fourth, or whatever. Okay, so Walmart announces today, I think they're just going to call it like Walmart Plus. It's like something really basic and similar, but I mean easy. But that's Walmart, right? They're really basic. Boom! Look at this. Is that not just like unbelievable? Because look at the average candles. Look at this. Okay, look how Walmart normally moves. You see that? This is how Walmart normally moves, and then look at today. Just an absolute explosion on this news, and then look where it stops. I mean, is that not crazy? Just right at one of our resistance levels. You see it came up to this one, and it kind of pulled back, and then it went through. Now, I wasn't watching this real time, so I don't know if this waffled here or not, but it got up here, and it was just like, boom, that's it. We're done. Okay, and then we've kind of just been pausing right here ever since for about the last hour, hour and a half. But that's just incredible. That is just incredible. Steve, you're absolutely welcome. That's what I'm here for, is just try to help everybody. Kelsey, same thing. Obviously, I appreciate you guys that are in our community. And before I wrap up, again, anybody who's watching right now who's brand new, this is either your first time or if you've watched these live streams but you've never been to our community, come join our community. SimpleTradingLife.com. Absolutely free. No strings attached there, and all the content is free. and we post information in there. I try to teach you how to take trades, right? I don't do a ton of trade alerts, or trade ideas that like some rooms try to do, because that's really not beneficial to you. And I know just from talking to, we're up to like 350 members in our room, and we've only been going for, whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 months. And we're up to 350 members in the room. And then whatever we've got here on YouTube, I've got like 6,500 followers on Twitter and so on and so forth. We're on all kinds of social media platforms, but come to the room and subscribe to YouTube. That's where you're going to get the most benefit. But just talking to people in the room that have come from other places, and they'll say, yeah, I was in this room and they had a trade alert service, or, this, that, and the other. But I never made the money that the guru made. The guru would always post his results and he'd make this huge money, and I would take the same trades and I wouldn't make anything, or I'd make just a little bit, or I would lose. Well, the problem with trade alerts is you're always going to be late. You're going to be late entering. Okay, I don't care if it's instantaneous. I've been in rooms in the past, and when I say instantaneous, it just means that once they place their order, the alert pops up on the screen, because there is technology that can do that. But follow me. Let's say I'm taking a short on Walmart here at 126.86. Right? I go short. I place my order, and when I hit send, the technology sends out an alert to the room. Okay, now not everybody has that. Okay, but there are some rooms that have that. So it'll instantaneously send out an alert, and it'll say Scott G went short on Walmart at 126.86, and maybe whatever other information I would want to have in there. By the time you read that, and you might not read it right away, it may come across as a text on your phone. By the time you read it, then you go into your broker, your platform, you look the trade up, you punch in the information, or even go to the ladder, or however you're going to place your trade, and place your trade. You're late, right? Because at that point, price could be way down here. Then you get in, and then what's price do? It goes back up. And maybe you get stopped out, right? Or even if it does kind of keep going, you miss the majority of the move. Now it's the same thing on the exit. When I exit, or whoever, and that alert goes out, it's the same process all over again. Okay, so I'm out. You get the alert, you go to your system, you put in your exit trade, or you hit, exit all or whatever, but by the time you do that, you're late. What if price came and bounced off of a level, right? So that's why when people come and tell me, and there's some rooms that's all they are alert services. They don't teach you anything. And I know that many of our members have been in rooms like that, and they're like, man, I just lost money hand over fist. I never made money off the trades that the person in the room was alerting. They made money, but I didn't, and that's why. You're just always late. You're late on entry, and you're late on exit. So what we try to do, we try to teach you how to identify the highest probability trades. Now, if I see something like the Delta Airlines today, that just stood out to me like a sore thumb, okay, the analysis part of it. So before the market opened today, I saw that, and I just alerted the room. Hey, here's a potential short on DAL. Here's what I see. If you're going to swing trade it, here's a target, right? And boom, you already saw the results. Let's see where it's at right now. It's at 26.95, so it's still going down, right? Still going down. In fact, and before I go there, Steve, the room's open 24 hours. Now, obviously, I'm not in there 24 hours. I usually start posting stuff around 6 to 7 a.m. in the morning, and then I get done around market close, and then I might come back in the evening and post some stuff. And then on the weekends, obviously, there's not as much activity, but I'll post a lot of like training type stuff or educational stuff over the weekends. Hey, watch this video. Hey, read this book. Hey, here's some of my thoughts, and all 5 or 6 paragraphs of thoughts. things like that. But the room is open 24 hours a day because we obviously have members from all over the world. So sometimes when I'm asleep in the middle of the night, I'll wake up in the morning and a couple of people might have been chatting at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, because where they're at, it might be middle of the day and they're trading forex, or they're trading futures, which are 24 hours. Okay, so it's just open 24 hours a day, but I personally am most active between anywhere from 6 to 7 a.m. to around 4 p.m. and then maybe a little bit in the evenings. I'm usually, when the market opens again at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I'm usually posting a few things throughout the evening. So hopefully that helps. All right, let me go back real quick. I wanted to see here. Yeah, okay. So again, I'm just looking at, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. So anybody who was on out of the money puts, still up about 40% right now on Delta Airlines. If you exited right now, I think most people would take a 40% winner, right, today. With very, very little risk. You had like next to no risk whatsoever. And if somebody's swinging it, again, down here is where I would target, right around 2470 is where I would target an exit. Anywhere between 25 to 2470 would be a good exit for a swing, but that might not happen for a couple of days, right? That might not happen for a couple of days, as we can see kind of how price is trending. And if it gets below here, it's almost certainly going to drop down into this range here. All right. Okay, let's see if anybody else has anything. Get back to your comments. You're welcome, Steve. Expiration on the puts I'm talking about are Friday. Friday's expiration. Okay, so you have the rest of the day today, then tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I would not plan on being in them until Friday. Okay, that's just me personally, because you're going to start to lose your most premium from premium burn on Thursday and Friday. So just me personally, I would prefer, if I was swinging it, to be out sometime tomorrow, or at the worst, early on Thursday. Because you just don't want to get, I'm just going to make something up. Let's just say price kind of gets down in here and kind of gets hung up, starts to stall out, and then you're holding all day Thursday and you're holding most of the day Friday, even though it went in your favor big time. At that point, premium burn is going to catch up with you. Okay, so just to answer your question though, Friday expiration on those puts, on the out of the money puts I'm talking about. All right, let's see here. Let's take one more look at ES before we jump off of here. And we concentrate a lot on ES because obviously it is the market, right? So it's important to always know what the market's doing. And as you can see right now, still hung up in this area right here, which we know it's going to be tough. It's not impossible to get through there, but we know it's going to be tough. So does it get through there before the end of the day? Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe it bounces and then takes another run at it. Maybe it bounces and starts to go higher. We don't know any of that right now. What we know is what we can see. We trade price action, and price action is telling us that right now we're at an area that should offer support, and so far it is. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us today. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that notifications bell. And if you haven't already, join the room. SimpleTradingLife.com. Click on the free chat room button. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you in the room. Bye-bye.